Psst. Hey, you. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Do you want to know how to make a game ready vase? Well, let's get started then. So to start out, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in a plane here, and then we're going to go into edit mode, and we're going to merge all of them at the center here. Going to hit the Y view here, and then we're going to use E here, and we're just going to draw out a vase. We make a nice and beautiful vase here. Just whatever shape you want to make it. Just as long as we make sure that this final vertice here is exactly on the 0 value for X. That's perfectly in the middle. And then with that, we are going to hop on over and we're going to add on a screw modifier, and boom, we have the beginnings of a vase. If we look over at our wireframe view though, we can see it's a little bit of a mess here, so we're going to have to do a little bit of work to clean this up. You can also increase the quality of it by adjusting these steps over here, but I think 16 is going to do us just fine. So within object mode, make sure we apply that. But before we can do that, we need to make sure we select all our vertices and merge by distance so that we have closed geometry, and then go and do our grid fill here. Have a nice bottom to our vase now, and we can go ahead and actually select all of these right here. We're going to do Control X just to get rid of them, and instead we're going to scale this up on the Z axis, and we're going to switch over to side view and X-ray, bring it down, and we're gonna scale in and bring it down, and then we're gonna scale in again over here. Scale out, bring it down, and scale out. Go and add in an additional edge loop in here and scale that out a little bit here so we have a nice internal shape to our vase, and do a grid fill again. Make sure we have it lined up. And we're going to select this bottom vertice. We're going to use Shift S and select our cursor to that. Then we're going to go to Object, Set Origin to 3D Cursor. And that way we can zero it out and our object will sit flat on our world there. And we can do Shade Smooth for this, and that looks okay. But we're going to do Shade Auto Smooth, set this to about 60. And that looks okay, but we are going to need to increase it just a little bit more so we can get that top bit. Perfect. And we do want to add in a little bit of sharpness on the bottom here. So we're going to do that, Control E, K, perfect. And let's also add a little bit of sharpness right here as well. Control E, and let's add a little bit of sharpness right there. There we go. Have a nice little look to our vase here. And we can go and apply that smoothing and then go over and do some UV unwrapping. So what we're going to do here is we're going to select this top vertice here, select the bottom base of our vase. Base of our vase, and then we're going to go ahead and select here and from here and from here, and do Control E M to mark those as seams. And then inside of our vase, we are going to turn on X-ray so we can see what we're doing, and we're going to select the inside ring of our vase here, Control E M, and we are going to unwrap the inside as well. And just like that, Control E M, perfect. And now we can go into UV editing, hit A, and then we're gonna do UM for minimum stretch, and we're gonna do about 30 iterations of that. And once again, we're gonna go into UV. We're gonna do a line rotation here, and we're gonna do based on geometry on the Z axes, except for these two, which once again, we're gonna do a line rotation, and we're gonna do on the X axis here. And then we're going to go ahead and pack islands. And since we're doing 256, we're gonna do 8 divided by 256 to have an 8 pixel margin on 256 map. We're gonna pack that in, and then we can switch over to texture paint, set up a Ucupaint here, and we're gonna make it a vase. And we can turn on a normal map for this as well, because we can do a little extra with that. We're gonna go ahead and have the base color of our vase, which we are going to have a nice and beautiful green vase. Lovely. Set to custom value. We want a somewhat shiny vase, and we don't want any metallic values whatsoever. And before we start adding any more detail here, let's do a little quick check here, and let's go ahead and turn on our face orientation, and we can see our faces are all invert. So we're going to select all of them and do Shift in, and that will just magically fix them all. Now we can turn to texture paint here. We're going to add in a new image here. We're going to call this the details, and we're going to make it 256. It's going to be a normal map, and now we can freely draw in details on our face here. And in our image view here, we're going to set it to paint and make sure we're using our details map here. And we are going to switch our brush to be a line. We'll do a little bit of spacing here. And now if we draw on here, we can now add in some pretty quick and easy details that show up on our vase. And of course, we can also just draw on some details here as well. And we're going to create our vase MRO, which is going to be a metallic and roughness value. Go over here, we're going to do bake all channels, 256, and bake. And now we have our vase finished, and we can save all of our textures here, and we can of course go over in here and we can do export to GLTF to export it with the textures as well, or we can do an FBX. Oh. And don't forget to name it vase.